Hello. How's it going, everybody? Just wanted to make sure that my sound and everything's working okay. I had to change the I had to change some stuff, and it's obviously been a while, so I wanted to make sure that everything's working out the way it should be. I feel like I'm like leaning over this way. Welcome to the coffee shop. Hey, Andrea, how's it going? My volume's too low. I could try to turn it up just a little bit. Where is it? Right here. See how that's doing you. How's it going today? Hopefully that my actual mic volume was extremely low too. So let's see if that works. Okay, you think what's going on? I'd like to take this opportunity while Andrea's letting me know what's going on to just also explain what's been happening in my life and what's been going on, with the channel and where things have been going. If I have the opportunity to try to get to do that this morning, if not, it's cool. We're here to kind of hang out and chill. Been having a rough time after a breakup. Do you want to share what happened, or would you rather just kind of hang out and not discuss it? Sometimes people get a little funny about it and they don't want to share all the details. So whatever you're comfortable with sharing, feel free to share. I know this season has been very rough for a lot of people, and I think that's kind of part of what I've been having a problem with lately as well. So that's one reason why I felt like it was very important for me to uh, definitely get back on stream and jump back into it. It'll take a while to type. No worries, no worries. Whatever you want to. We need to clear your channel so you can use our awesome music for YouTube. Oh wow, I haven't even set up Pretzel Rocks in a while. Um, Give me 1 second. I apologize. So yeah, so some news. First of all, with the channel, let's go with the quick background about what's been going on with me. The last time that I had streamed, I think was kind of midway through December, maybe like the very last week of December. I think it was just before Christmas or just before New Year's. I don't remember, and I was playing Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was having a rough time from the end of, I would say, from middle to the end of November, and having a difficult time. Like I kept catching bronchitis, and I'm usually, for me, being sick more than once a year is pretty bad. I usually get sick. I might get like a flu type of thing for like a couple of days, get hit really hard for like 3-4 days, and then get over it. And then I might have like the sniffs, for a little while, or maybe like a really bad head cold. But those are like the only one or two sicknesses I'll get every year, right? Um, and I have a pretty tough immune system. I've worked in a lot of fields where like viruses and sicknesses and illnesses were just all over the place. And I feel like this year, working in the ER as much as I can, having to, as much as I am, having to, run up and down the stairs that we have. We have this like 14 flight stairs case that we have to, bring bodies up and down and stuff like that. And just, craziness. It's a animal ER. But it's just, I feel like, people want to talk about masks the way they want to talk about masks, and I'm very open as long as everybody's nice and respectful to each other. I'm very open to hear your opinions. I'm very open to share mine. For me, wearing a mask in the environment that I have to wear it in. Now, this includes running in and outside to get, animals that are in critical care and things like that and like really need emergency assistance. So sometimes we have to huff and puff these like two. I think the heaviest I've brought inside, like I'm a big guy. I had to carry, I forgot what breed Beethoven was. I keep forgetting it. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can remember it. I forgot completely. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a big dog. But like I carry in big dogs a lot. And even if it's a little dog, like if you're huffing up and puffing up and down the stairs, it can be a lot. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think the heaviest that I remember carrying was like probably close to 200, maybe 220-ish pounds. It was a big dog. And we had to get him in there. He was suffering. I think it was either heat exhaustion or something weird, and it was because of a condition that the dog had. But yeah, so I had to get him inside. We had to get CPR started ASAP and things like that. So there's a lot of him, running around and stuff like that. Even in my everyday, going up and down the stairs 15, 20 times every shift at least, and carrying, like I said, bodies or equipment up and down the stairs, or like just moving animals around cages. And like it's the middle of wintertime, and most of the time we have to put the AC on because it's still like but sorry, I just blanked out a little bit. But so I feel like there's a lot of exhalation inside my mask often, and I found myself like having to take my mask down a lot to get like some fresh air sensation inside my lungs. And there's hot air there, especially when you're all the time. There's hot air going in and out of your lungs, and it's like recycled air, which isn't it's not good for your lungs. So anyway, very extremely long story short, I think I kept doing this, and I'm very susceptible to bronchitis out of all the illnesses that I do get. So I caught bronchitis like 3 times in a row, and I would know this because I literally got over it for like a day or two in between, and then I'd start feeling it again, and I'd be like, oh my God, I feel it right there. It was just ridiculous. So what I at the last, I finally just realized that like I needed a different type of mask. I had bought a mask. I don't have it with me right now. But it's like, I can't even show you on the packaging, but it's like it has like a ventilation port on the side of it, where like it just, you get like an air filter so germs don't get in or out, and then you have like a ventilation filter so the air can escape and you can breathe in fresher air, than what you're exhaling. And so I got this mask to try to help me out, and it just wasn't in time. And I had caught COVID. I think it was January 2nd. I was planning on coming back that week. I had, I wanted to start, getting back into Guardians of the Galaxy and start going hard on, streaming again and stuff like that. And it just so happened that, life was telling me to calm the F down and, take a chill pill. And so that's what I had to do, unfortunately. I had to isolate. I had to do all this stuff. I didn't get any crazy symptoms from it. I mainly was exhausted. I had a fever for me. And for me, my regular body temperature is like ridiculous. It's like close to dead. It's like 96.2 to 96.7. Like that's my regular body temperature. And I grew up in a very cold environment, and I love the cold. And so yeah, for me, like a fever is anywhere from like 98.9, it's getting high, right? And then in the 99s to 100s is like fever status. I don't think ever in my life, even when I've had the flu, the worst in my life, I don't think I've ever reached like 103, 104, anything bad like that. Um, but for me, that's very high. And so I, had to isolate. I had to take a lot of time for myself. And that day I was told to isolate, I was like, you know what? This is the sign I've been waiting for. Because I was also very mentally stressed and very like taxed in everything that's been going on in my life. For how much I do share, I share purely, openly, honestly, and I don't care. I don't, if there's, I don't feel like there's anything that needs to be held back. I'm a pretty open book. But if with as much as I do share about my life, there's 10 times that is always constantly happening. And so I finally decided that I needed to talk to somebody. I needed to just have some help to get my thoughts and everything organized and get myself together a little bit better. And, I just realized that I needed a lot more than I thought I did. I thought I needed to just keep going, and I thought I needed to just get back to working out, get back to eating healthy and things like that. And even when I did those things, they kept falling and they kept falling off and they kept falling off. And I kept having a lot of problems. I apologize. I'm still looking for my channel information. So that's what's taking me so long to get music started. Sorry. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. But yeah, what, so I had to isolate, and during this time, it was only 2 days that I isolated, but during that time, it was very humbling. It was very real, and it was also very relaxing at the same time as it was very stressful. I took that time to play a lot of video games and just do what I wanted to do. I apologize. I took that time to just do what I wanted to do and, kind of just, you know, take time for me. And I started rediscovering things about myself. And that led to changes in the channel that I want to talk about. And that led to, changes in my business that I want to discuss. And, I don't know if we'll get to everything this during the morning, but, it just led to a lot. And I've started talking to a therapist, and I've started talking to, started being more open, started being more connected with myself, started being more in tune with myself, even further than I was. And, I had a hard time with that because I always felt like I should know better. Like I should do better for myself because I'm a health coach, because I'm a life coach, because I know fitness well and things like that and wellness. And I was like, I should know the answers to this and whatever. But the truth of the matter is sometimes you just don't. And sometimes it's something that you see outside of your own self where, or you don't see what's outside of your own self. You might be stuck in whatever routine you think has worked for you, and it just doesn't work, unfortunately. So there's a lot of that going on, and I've grown a lot since then. I think I've had 4 full sessions with the therapist that I've been working with. And it's he's more along the lines of a holistic therapy, which is something I truly believe in. I don't want to just jump to medication if I don't need to, and I don't want to just, he's also got a lot with CBT therapy and all these other things. And we've been working a lot at uncovering a lot of things that, I didn't even know were there. But every time I get into a session, I seem to notice more and notice more and notice more, So I think that's just interesting to mention, but I do think it's important to mention because, even people might kick on the volume in a minute. I apologize. Even people who you think might be at the top might have all their shit together, might have all their stuff together. I can guarantee you they're getting help of some kind in some sort of way as well, So if you need to find help, get it. I also haven't been able to update my About Me page with some things that I wanted to, but I'm going to start including links for like national helplines and, different resources for people to really tap into to, if you do need help. That's going to be one of my priorities today, but I'm not 100% sure if I will be able to get it in before tonight. I'm just throwing it out there. I am so sorry. I keep getting distracted because I'm really trying to.
Police in the morning.
I'm sorry. I'm really trying to get my YouTube channel so I can get Pretzel Rocks going, and that's what's taking me so long. Where is it? My About Me page. There we go. Discord donations, rules, socials. Did I not? Why would I not put my YouTube on there? Duh. That's so weird. And it's like, it's weird. It's not showing me on my YouTube page where my, like, what my channel link is. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why it's not. Anything, guy? Maybe it's under this. I think I have to go into the creator studio now. Found it. Okay. Sorry about that little interlude. Yes, let's go. Cool. Play some little background stuff. I don't know if it's going to include it in the background, but let me know if you don't hear the music. Yeah, so it was a lot that was going on the past couple of months, and I just feel like I needed to recollect and reevaluate, not only myself, but the things that I was doing, making sure that they were what I wanted to be doing rather than what I felt like I should be doing, if that makes any sense. So that was kind of summing it up. I'm sure I'll remember more stuff. I have a hardcore ADHD mind, so half the details are probably missing right now, and they'll come back when I least expect it. But in a nutshell, I fell hard for a guy that told me from the beginning that he wanted to just be friends with benefits. I love emotionally unavailable men. After a super fun, intense 6 weeks, I finally came to the realization that he was never going to feel for me the way that I felt for him, so I broke it off. We decided to just both be on the same page of friends with benefits moving forward, but since I figured out that he doesn't even have feelings for me on a human level, like I don't think he cares if I live or die. So I'm grieving that. I was depressed and I knew that crying would help, but I couldn't get there until Sunday. I feel a ton better now, but I'm not sure yet if the depression will come back. I don't think that it will. Let me just double check my my sound volume. Testing 1, 2. I'm not quite sure what might be going on. I could turn it up a little bit, but it's gonna start kind of blaring out the sound speakers a little bit. But let me know if you still have problems hearing me after this. I don't want to myrtleize anybody with the music level. But I apologize that you're going through that. That's very tough, and I understand where you're coming from. I have a issue with I wouldn't say getting romantically involved with people who are unavailable, but I find that I'm very I magnetize toward I'm attracted to people just in general, like friends or whatever, that are kind of on the opposite spectrum but share things in common, if that makes any sense. So I kind of get where you're coming from. For example, I had a friend who was a gamer and he was also a dad. So I was like, oh, cool. He's a dad gamer. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, awesome, bro. Great. And come to find out, he's very lazy. He's not very, into actually helping with his kids and, all this other stuff. So that's what I mean by that is by, it's things that I found in common that I kind of latched onto, and I was like, oh, this will be great. And then after a while, I just found out that hanging out with him and talking to him and stuff just kind of made me stressed out. So I was, I had to cut that off. And it's not at all the same thing that you're talking about, but I do that in a lot of my general relationships where, people who are not so good for me, I kind of almost obsess over. And so I feel where you're coming from with that. It's that feeling of rejection, and it's that feeling of that like you might, even though sometimes even when people say that they're not emotionally invested or that they're not emotionally involved, sometimes it just feels like they are, right? And sometimes that can like cloud our heads and kind of make it feel like, oh, this might have the chance of being something more, even if it doesn't, and that's not your fault. That's the way, maybe they're presenting wrong, or maybe you're understanding it wrong, but it's either way, it's not a fault of yours. You know what I mean? And I can only imagine that a situation like that is kind of intense or it's very tough because, the feelings that come along with that, you want to put blame on something, or you want to understand why it worked the way it did. And sometimes it just doesn't work out that way, but I'm here for you anytime you need, if you want to talk on Discord, if you want to hit me up at any other point, just let me know. I apologize that you had to go through that. And I would offer words of wisdom, but usually they're pretty generic. It's the process of grieving, whether it's a death of somebody or whether it's something, a love lost or something like that, or a not so love lost. Nothing really makes it better except for some time, and just know that, you're an important person. So maybe this person, maybe you feel like this person doesn't respect you in that way or love you in that way, but somebody will, and something will happen that will come along and make you completely forget about it, or not completely forget about it, but you learn something from it, and you learn and grow from that. And again, I apologize for I feel like that sounds very generic, but it's genuine. It's not meant to. I truly believe, especially on the path that you're on, you're going to run into a lot of beautiful people, and this about yourself. So now it's time to take it the next step further and, start evaluating, not building walls. I fully don't agree with doing that, but like start evaluating your process when you meet somebody and giving yourself different steps and, things like that to, not learn the next time, but learn the next time, for lack of a better way to put it. What was this the guy that you had told me about previously? I remember a couple of weeks ago, I think it was the last time that I streamed, maybe, that you had told me that you met somebody. So what is this the same person? And while she's answering that, same guy. There haven't been a lot of men in my life. Okay. Yeah, like when you were talking about him before, I feel like you were very like into him, so I could feel that, I can feel that both that excitement that you had before and what I feel like is that pain that you might have now. But I'm happy that you're sharing it with me. I'm happy that you're here today and able to kind of talk about it, What have you been doing to kind of get yourself through that process? I know you said you cried the other day. You were finally able to like cry about it, and has there been anything else that you've been trying to like initiate for yourself? I'm not drinking coffee, by the way. That's one thing I'm trying to change up. I'll get into that a little bit in just a second. But one of the things I realized about myself is that I've decided to completely quit drinking. Um, you know, I don't think there's ever going to be an honest point that I want to go back to it. I have, as far as I've been told, it's a very common trait with people with ADHD, where, we have very addictive personalities. And I just find that anything, it's because people are like, oh, people have told me throughout my teenage years, throughout my childhood about anything that they're like, oh, you just don't seem to know where that stopping point is, And not like I ever got so smashed that I did stupid things when I was drinking, but, I just feel like the way I feel the next day and like the next 2 days sometimes, it's poison that you're introducing into your body. So, I don't, go against anybody for doing it, but this is how I feel about it for myself, is I feel like it's poison that you kind of introduce into your body. And, I feel like if I am leading a life where I feel like I need to drink to have a good time or to relax or something, then something in my life needs to change rather than using that as a tool to have a good time or relax, and again, that's not judging anybody else who does use it for that. You're welcome to do whatever the hell you please. That's not my prerogative or whatever. But just for me, I feel like that's the best way to do it. It affects my health. It affects my mentality. The biggest problem for me is that it makes me feel very unmotivated. And it like lowers my inhibitions where I'll find myself buying things I don't need, not like hoarding status or whatever, but I'll buy a lot of crap and I'll buy, just waste money on stuff I don't need. And, I'm very, very unmotivated the next couple of days following that. Looking back, what's tough is I love the flavor of alcohol, and that sounds like an addictive property, but I really love the flavor of certain alcohols like tequila and stuff like that. I'm very extreme with my tastes. I love hot stuff. I love spicy. I love flavorful. So, I'm very picky with the stuff that I eat like that, or the stuff that I drink like that. And I miss a lot of the tequilas that I used to love and a lot of the whiskeys that I used to love. You're not really much. I'm not really missing, beer or anything like that. I lost my taste for a lot of beer because just the carbonation just bothers my stomach a lot. And, I'm wine. Sure. Depends. I'm very picky when it comes to wine, but, I decided that wasn't good for me, but also I'm trying to cut out coffee a lot because I was getting up to coffee. You heard that? I'm not from that part of New York. I cut out a lot of coffee because I was starting to get up to 3, sometimes 4 cups a day. And the thing is, coffee doesn't wake me up. Coffee relaxes me. And, it used to be the same thing with the same thing, but different with alcohol. So alcohol would wake me up and give me energy, and coffee ends up relaxing me. It might give me a little bit of what I felt like mental clarity, but it just relaxed me. And I think that's why I kept obsessing over drinking it. And, eventually I would drink so much of it that I literally just fell asleep, So I decided to cut back on that a lot because it's really not great for your stomach to have that much coffee during the day, every day. And, I feel like it was also making me tense a little bit, it made me relaxed in my body, but something, I don't know, it just wasn't connecting right. I've just been trying to feel my feelings and trust them. Crying is definitely cathartic. I tried drinking over it, but it wasn't helpful, and then I just felt worse the next day. Good for you for quitting. Yeah, I understand that. I used to have a rule, even when I was younger, when I was going out and partying with friends of mine and stuff like that, where if I was in a bad mood or depressed or had a bad day, and I felt emotionally challenged, I would not allow myself to smoke pot or to drink. And that was because of that. I apologize for the notifications popping up. They shouldn't be making sounds right now, but it was because of that. I knew there was a potential for alcoholism in my life because of my family history and things like that. I knew from the start that I was a very addictive type of personality. And, so that made me not want to do it when I was emotionally charged or challenged. You know what I mean? Like, if I was in a mellow state of mind, that's fine. But like if I was depressed or upset or angry or whatever, I never I purposely opted out of going for a drink or for a smoke or whatever, just because I was afraid of getting hooked on that. Yeah, and that's the important part too, Andrew, is feeling your feelings about it. And I think that's the biggest process to learning, as you know, with your studies that you're, I think, about to start pursuing or just has started pursuing. Feeling your feelings is the biggest thing about it, and I think that's one thing that I've been talking to my therapist about too a lot. Is that I'll get into it more deeper at another time just because it's a very extended story to explain everything. But I don't always feel like I'm generally connected the proper way to my feelings. Like I feel them, but it takes me a while to process them, and it often comes out in a different way than I mean it to. And I don't always mean that in a bad way, but like it just feels inappropriate to me, if that makes sense, And so feeling your feelings is something I'm definitely practicing a lot too, and being more honest and open about my feelings. Things that I used to just let slide. I figured out that I just can't do that anymore. I figured out that, and not everything is worth making a big deal out of, and I don't mean to sound like that, but things that I used to let slide that actually ended up being a big deal, I don't do that anymore. These notifications are really throwing me off. I apologize for anybody who's experiencing issues focusing as I am because of them. I will turn them off before I get started on the next streams. Jeez. I might have to disconnect my phone. It's giving me all my phone notifications so I can pay attention. But being honest and truthful to myself about what things mean to me and what things feel like to me, and how I feel in the moment. And the hardest part about feeling my feelings personally is also, I don't want to say ignoring how other people feel, but not letting that affect how I feel, because I needed to learn that my feelings are respectable, my feelings are valid, and how I feel, regardless of how they respond or how they feel about how I feel is how I feel. And that's the important part for me to realize and understand as well. So I definitely feel that it's a growth thing. It's really big for, anybody, I feel like, to really understand themselves. It's a really important part of that, And thank you for the backup. I appreciate that for about quitting. When I talk about how much I drank or how much I used to smoke way more. But when I talk about how much I used to drink, people are kind of like, well, that's not really a lot. And, those are deadly words. First and foremost, if anybody ever tells you that they think they're drinking, smoking, coughing, sneezing, anything too much, don't just immediately go to, oh, that's not a lot, because it might be a lot for them, and that might be a problem for them. And that's what it was for me. Even my wife at first was like, oh, you don't really drink a lot, though. You're not really like that. You don't get smashed. You don't get drunk, And I'm like, no, but, it's also, to me, I shouldn't be able to take a bottle of tequila to the face and, that's okay. And, whatever. Like, I shouldn't be able to do that, And I feel like I like I said, the motivation killer was a bad part of that for me. And, I once I explained this to her, she was like, oh, okay, well, then I support you, whatever you need to do, and she kind of knew it from there. And, it's an adventure, I know not everything can I cut out, or can I get rid of? Because there's been a lot, drinking, smoking, coffee. I used to smoke cigarettes and I quit that, a long time ago. But just thought processes and people and habits, like I have a very addictive personality. So it's something that I'm often very aware of, I do have to get going about 11:20 because I have to pick up my kids pick up my first son from school, my second son, I should say. I do plan on being back tonight. Sorry about that again. I do plan on being back tonight to priority alarms only. Let's try that. I do plan on being back tonight. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to play. I'm getting used to this new routine that I'm trying to figure out right now. And I've racked myself. I've racked my brain like crazy to try to figure out what routine I want to do, what times I want to stream, when I want to do what. And if you look at my psychotic looking schedule that's over on my office wall here, my life is incredible amounts of insanity at any given time. So for now, I think it's just going to be about this same time, 9:45 to 10 a.m., somewhere in there to about 11:20 a.m. is going to be kind of like my morning chat, coffee, tea, whatever you want to bring with you. Bring it on, and we'll have some conversations in the morning or whatever. If you want to continue those conversations afterwards, that's fine. Well, I have a Discord channel all set up. It's called the Polymathics. I have a link for it in my About Me page, so feel free to click on that and join in. And so later on in the night is probably going to be game times or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what time I'll be able to start, which is why I'm not like announcing things yet or whatever. But I'll be updating and growing and stuff like that as much as I can. The thing I want to make clear about this stream is that I feel like I started getting too much into the video game aspect of it, which is fine. Like, and I've had time to talk and stuff like that. But I remember when I was playing Guardians of the Galaxy and I got so into it, I was trying to pay attention to like the notifications and stuff like that. And I want first and foremost for the stream to be a place that people can come and talk and share and, really feel a sense of community. And, if I want to be present in the moment, and I'm not saying it's bad for me to play games or anything like that, because I'm definitely going to be playing games. Like, there's no way to take that away from me, but or away from you guys either. It's going to be a good time either way. But I want to make sure I have time set aside to talk to people and to, really get involved with my community. And so it's going to be what is it? It's Try Hard Tuesday today, so I'm trying to think, of what I can do. I also have to get some of the things that I had set for the channel out of my mind. Like for Try Hard Tuesday, it was often a thing of like, oh, we're going to play shooting games and we're going to play, games I suck at and blah, 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 blah. But really trying hard is about anything, right? It's about achieving any goals that you might have, So one thing I was thinking of was maybe for tonight or for tomorrow would be like Animal Crossing or something like that. I've been playing that a lot and trying to get my daily goals done in there, like that type of thing. But, as my business grows and as things develop in my home life, my work schedule at the ER is also switching up. And hopefully eventually I'll be able to let that go once, money flows in a little bit better. As my coaching grows, I might have to switch my schedule around a little bit, but I plan on reserving this morning time for doing my chatting stream. And, unless obviously like an emergency comes up, but I plan on keeping this going, regardless of what's going on at night or in the afternoon or during the day or whatever. That's one major change that I wanted to make very clear. I want to take time to chat with my community and to hang out with my community. And if this becomes a full-time thing one day, that's awesome, that's great, but there will always be this time. And I was hoping to get on here actually before 9:30, or around 9:30, but you know, I had to get the kids set up and I had to do stuff. So that's one thing I have to accept too, is that you know, as much as I want to try right now, when it's meant to fall into place, it will fall into place. And that doesn't mean I have to give up on trying. That doesn't mean that I have to do anything differently, but or do, you know, try to push things and try to like force my brain to do things differently or whatever. It just means I got to go with the flow for now and just see what happens, you know. And that's what I'm going to do. When I get the opportunity, I'm going to try to clean up my social medias a little bit better. And, you know, I suck at socials, man. I suck at social medias. So I pretty much just use that for, like, you know, announcing when I'm going live. And I don't really have the time to edit videos and stuff like that and put them up there or whatever. Maybe eventually, but I'll figure that out some other time. But right now, it's just going to be a chill thing. It's going to be something I do to help you guys out and to talk and have fun and, you know, just get a little sense of community going and hang out, you know. You know, me and Andrea have been good friends since I started, I think. I think you found my stream like the first week I was streaming, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was maybe the second week. I think that was my second playthrough of Portal 2 that you found me during. Yeah. So Andrea, are you still hanging out with this guy? Are you still talking to him? Like, I know you said you both decided to kind of still be friends with benefits, but have you just completely cut it off? Or I don't recall if you had said that in the chat before. Layered like a cake by abstraction. Okay. I love this. I didn't think I would ever utilize it, but I have. First of all, one major bit of change that I was excited about was getting my phone. Because I've really needed something that can both do phone and tablet with like a writing thing connected to it. And yes, I have a picture of me on my background because it's the nicest picture of me that I have, and I'm not good at selfies. So, but I you know, I've been doing a lot of work crossover between my computer and my phone. It's great for scheduling. It's great for like that really ADHD status of being able to do multitudes of things at the same time. And it helps me focus having it in one central place. But I have this crossover program that, I crossed it over with like the Windows Phone compatibility thing. And it's actually pretty fucking ingenious, if I do say so myself. Like, it's not something, as I say that, it's asking me, do you enjoy this app? Please leave feedback. Yeah, pardon my French, but it's really impressing me because the amount of productivity that I have because of not having to pick up my phone and double check everything and go back and forth and whatever. Like, literally all my stuff is right there. I have chat here. I have Discord on the side. I have my business calendar all set up and going and stuff like that. So it's just great. I can immediately switch when I need to, you know? So it's good stuff. I highly recommend it. I cut it off. I already felt like I've let myself down by getting as involved as I did with somebody who doesn't care a bit about me. I'd be crazy to give him any benefits after realizing that. Yeah, no, that's true. And, you know, it's your own growth process. I didn't ask that judgingly or anything like that in case it came off like that. You know, I was just, you know, wondering out of general, you know, concern and you know, I was hoping so, to be honest, but, you know, just because situations like that I've often found in my past, they're not, not in my past personally, but like friends going through it and stuff like that. That's one thing I've been very particular about. When I decide that something's over, it's over, and sometimes it comes back and bites me in the butt. Sometimes it's regrettable, but I feel like it's the best way that I could do it because, when I've seen friends take those steps and try to, like we broke up, but maybe, we can do this or that. Like I've given my relationships a second chance, a third chance. I gave one girl that I dated, we tried dating, I think 5 or 6 times altogether. And it wasn't like a toxic relationship. It was just, we were meant to be really good friends, and that's all it was. You know what I mean? Like we figured that out very quickly every 5 times, but we still thought we were destined to be more. But, when it wasn't like bad blood or whatever, it was just, we were like, hey, it's happening again. Let's just be buds, man, and we just stayed that way. And it was great. It was cool. That's how it was supposed to be, But most of the time in those situations, especially when it's one-sided or when you feel like it's one-sided, those situations are meant to end. They're not meant to survive for very long. I went out of my way to make sure this full setup green screen was perfect, and that there was this one line right there that I saw. But I have, oh my God, the green screen that I had, that whole disastrous setup is gone. I've redone my lighting. I'm fine. I don't have this glare on my bald ass head. I'm a little whited out, but I don't really care about that. I can figure that out another time. But I was really like, this lighting needs to change. This office situation needs to change, But yeah, we did a lot of good. Part of what was going on the last 2 months, is it 2 months now? December, the end of January. All right, month and a half. I still feel like it's 2 months. Month and a half is I've redone my whole office area. Me and my wife were sharing an office area, which made us both feel kind of like this. We were both feeling very cramped, and it was great sharing an office space. Like, I don't regret that at all. No way. Hell no. But it came to a point where where she was so busy at work that her stuff was literally just collecting dust. And, it was, I could use the room. Obviously, I'm a lot more comfortable. I feel like I can open up a full wingspan. So she decided to move her desk and stuff into a better situation that works for her. And I redid the office space that I had set up for me, and I feel like it works out so much better. Oh my God. I can literally, I stood up, and I was video chatting with my therapist yesterday, and I stood up and I was able to walk around, and I felt so free and so roomy. It's ridiculous. It feels so great. I've been so excited to get this setup rolling, and I feel like the last couple of weeks, and it's not only my illnesses that had me set back the last couple of weeks, it's also illnesses with my family. My father-in-law has had, I keep wanting to say it's rubella. It's like a really bad kids illness. But he has no immune system, so he gets a lot of weird things. So he had a rubella or whatever that I keep thinking it is, and then he had the flu, and then he had a really bad head cold, and then he had something else, and then he had the flu again, and then he had COVID. And that was going on since late November, I think the end of November. And then in between that time, my oldest son had a really bad flu for a week. He was throwing up, he was shitting everywhere. It was just crazy. He had a really bad fever, and it was just the worst I've seen him get a flu in a long time. And then my middle son got sick for a couple of days, and then my daughter had like a fever, but she didn't really get sick. So I think that's actually why I kept getting sick as well, on top of like breathing in my own germs all the time, or my own hot air. Was that my body was just like, I think that's how I got COVID, because I was working in the public and I missed it completely. And like I was one that where as soon as I could, my mask came off, you know, and I was fine the entire initial run of COVID for 2 straight solid years. And then finally this January, my body was like, oh, we've been fighting off everybody else's shit. Now it's time for you, you know? So, I'm convinced that's how that happened. There's just a lot going on all over the place. Nice. Even loving relationships need space. I think every man needs a man cave. Yeah. I didn't have a problem with sharing the space. I believe everybody needs their own cave. I think it's important for kids. I think it's important for women. I think it's important for men. Regardless of who you are, I feel like you need your own space to be creative, to do what you want, to be designed how you want. You know, like, this is my room in a 7-person house, 7 people, 2 dogs house, where when everything else is so crazy, this is my space, you know, and it just feels so good. And like where her desk is and where her closets and stuff are, that's her space, and she loves it. She can make it as messy as she wants. She can make it as designed as she wants. Like, she could do whatever she wants with it, you know. And my kids too, you know, my kids, we make sure that they have time for themselves, you know, away from everybody, and, you know, just playing by themselves. My daughter right now, you know, I used to beat myself up a lot for doing these streams during the day and missing time with my kids. But what I have to realize too is that time is extremely important for them. Like, my daughter's been up in her room, like imaginative playing and just reading books and hanging out this whole time, you know, and she's not yelling or screaming. It's not a problem. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's good for them to separate and get their own space and their own time, you know? And, we try to make sure that they get that. And I think that's very important for all of us. Do you have a, well, I know you live on your own, but do you have like a separated space for your stuff, or for your studies, or for anything creative that you might do? Or you just have like, cause I remember, I think, when I had like a 1-bedroom apartment, even, like, I remember I had like a desk, it was a computer, like, game desk, but I had my stuff on it. It was set up the way I wanted to, you know, and my ex-wife at the time, she had her stuff, you know, so like, no, I pretty much do it all on my couch. Well, there you go. That's not bad. You know, then your couch can be your space, you know, even if it's, you know, whether it's ideal or not, even if it's just your stuff, you know, your pets, your whatever you want in your space is there. That's the important part. That's your space, you know. This tea is delicious. So I have 3 separate drawers of tea. I have caffeinated tea, first and foremost. That's the greens and the blacks and whatever else in one drawer. And then there's also this like energy tea. I don't think it's caffeinated, but it's just supposed to give you like a burst of energy. And then after that, there's to the right of that, there's the doing stuff tea drawer, where like it's like stomach ease tea or ginger tea or throat coat tea, or, you know, something like that, something that's supposed to initiate a response of some type. And then there's like just a drawer of flavored teas, like just generally flavored teas. And this was actually a tea. If you want to see it, I'm going to try holding this up without making a mess. Give me a second. I love it. I think it's fucking hilarious. It's I bought this gift for my, yeah, it is a ball sack. It's called the Teabagger. I bought it for my sister-in-law, my brother's wife. Sister-in-law, right? Yeah. So it's called the Teabagger, and like she knows me and my brother's humor, and we're grimy like that. So we love anything stupid like that. And I saw it and I thought it was the most hilarious thing. Like, we're good at finding gifts that are like funny, but you can actually use them. You know, they're not just knickknacks. You can like really use them. And so like she loves tea, so I got her the Teabagger, and she thought it would be funny to give it back to me one year for Christmas, and I was like, that is fucking hysterical. Like, it's just been a joke. So but I think she wasn't using it because she has like a very specific set of tea infusers or something. And like, so she's like, I honestly have like 150,000 tea infusers. So if you want it, keep it. And I was like, hell yeah, I want it. I was like, if I didn't give it to you, I was going to keep it. But I think it's hysterical. I love when people see me dunking it. I think it's funny to see somebody like me, because I get told all the time. I'm like, especially when like I had my beard like down to here and whatever. Like, people are like, oh my God, you look so intimidating. You look like a biker guy. You look like such a badass. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I had a customer when I was clean shaved too, and still bald, but I like wore a hat or whatever. I was working for pest control, and I had a customer. I was like, just casually chatting with him, and he goes, you surprised me. And I was like, why? And he was like, because I was scared to death to come and talk to you. You look like such an intimidating person, like in real life, And I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I get that a lot, where like people don't know how to take me, and then but like once they get to realize who I am, they're like, oh. But I have like, I bought my wife like a mug that says world's best wifey or something like that, and I ended up starting to drink out of it more than she did. And like one of my coworkers at the time, like she saw a picture of it and she's like, does that say world's best wifey? And I was like, yes, it does. I just think stuff like that's hilarious. I don't care. Thank you. Yeah, I think I found it on Amazon. Let me pull it up. Pull it out. Apparently that didn't work because I have 3 kids. JK, by the way. Let's see. The only thing that is impractical about it is if you see the size of the cup that I use, it's like the cup's pretty big, so I can like feel like I actually have a cup. So like the chain is small, so like more times than not, like that's how, like the little, if there was something to like weigh it down on the outside, that'd be great. But I'm trying to see if I can find the Amazon link for it. Also, when the tea gets low, like the thing kind of gets sucked into it. Try to see if they still sell it. Oh, let me look at my previous purchases. I gotta get an Amazon professional account. I want people to buy stuff for me. I think I changed my password for them. I don't remember. No. Some of these captures I hate. Like, I understand you're trying to protect against computers, but like, holy shit, there's no way. I'd really rather just have, like, I have Google Authenticator and like a couple of other things that in place to help protect my accounts. And I feel like that works so much better than anything else. QD, I think, or AD, I don't know.
Please type the numbers you hear.
Get ready.
4, 6,
7,
4,
3,
8,
2,
Does it work? No, we didn't. All right, never mind. If I find it, I'll throw it up in your Discord because I think it's hysterical. What the hell did I put as my password? You like how I say never mind and then I just keep trying? I have very specific streams of passwords for very specific reasons. And so, like, when they make me change my password for some reason, it, like, fucking throws everything off. There we go. I got it. Okay. Orders. Let's see. They're going to have to search through my entire order history to find this thing. Shit. I think I got it from Amazon. Oh, maybe I didn't. Where the hell did I find it from? Oh, I did. Okay. Here it is. So that is the tea bagger, tea infuser, funny gag gift novelty for men and women, stocking stuffers. That's what it says for the description. See if I can get it pulled up on here. There you go. The tea bagger, tea infuser, funny gag gift novelty for men and women. In the flesh. But on that note, it's 11:20, and in my constant ADHD pursuit to be on time for once, I need to go pick up my son. So I'm planning on being back tonight. Like I said, I don't know what time exactly it's going to be. I don't know what I'm going to be playing yet, but I think I have an idea. Maybe a little Animal Crossing to go along with the chill. Maybe a little, I don't know, something. We'll see. I've also been playing Marvel's Avengers, and I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy, and I got a couple of different games that I can rock tonight too. So we'll see where it goes. Andrea, thanks for coming out and chatting me up. Well, thank you for coming to the coffee shop. I hope you had a good brew or a good little tea going. And I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Andrea, anytime you need to talk, hit me up. You know, I'm open to chat. You know, my Discord link's in my bio. I have your Discord link, so I think we're friends on there. I don't remember. We should be, but yeah. If you need to chat up about anything, let me know. Until then, guys, enjoy. I will see you later. Have a good time.